Not in social, not if you're, look, let's remind everybody of who's most vulnerable. If we're home isolating seniors and those with chronic conditions, we have substantially addressed the needs of the most vulnerable in terms of not mixing and being socially isolated. So you then skew a little younger and healthier in these environments, but we are saying you've got to socially distance. We will reduce the size and capacity of those operations by at least half. We'll require social distancing, which is about 6 feet, tables, but we think they're essential in this respect. We need people to be able to pick up food. We need people to have food delivered. We need the capacity to meet the needs of our population. And let me say this frankly, we need a productive society. I'm not willing to submit that in this moment we can't have cohorts of society being productive, just in a radically different way. And so if you're young and healthy, we know this virus, overwhelming science and data is out. It's important to remind people of that. Young and healthy, you will work through this quite well, that we still can be productive. And to the extent we feel like we have the capacity to deliver for 40 million people their meals, their basic necessities, we may then make additional adjustments. But for the moment, we feel this is an appropriate adjustment. I don't deal in perceptions. I deal with reality, and I deal with reality on the ground. 85% of our kids are no longer going to go to school on Monday. And with respect, I don't think this. I know for a fact that not all these districts have planned for the needs of these kids next week. And I'm deeply concerned about their health, and I'm deeply concerned about their safety. And I'm deeply concerned about their parents' inability to go to work. And many of those parents work in hospitals, work as firefighters, work as paramedics, work as the people that would get in the gear to help us advance the mobile testing throughout the state. And with respect to those governors, they may have figured all that out and may have those protocols in process and be able to answer that in detail. But I can assure you, just last night, I was upstairs just working on foster kids that were working on campus and living on campus that quite literally are ending up in our homeless shelters because there was no plan. And that was related to the system of higher education, some of our most sophisticated folks. So perception, we deal with reality. We've never been in a better position to weather a recession, period, full stop. Nothing about our current fiscal status is even comparable to Lehman Day, September 15th, 2008, when the macroeconomic wheels fell off during the last Great Recession. We did not have the kind of reserves, liquidity that we have today. So we're in a completely different place. We're in a much better position. I have submitted 2 budgets. Governor Brown submitted 8. The redundancy of our call of concern extended into my 2 budgets, and that is we model a mild recession that we argue is mild in this bookmark. Less severe than 08-09, but more severe than 2001. And in that modeling, we see a 3-year impact to the state's general fund of $70 billion, which would impact, or rather to our revenue, $70 billion, but impact our general fund by $40 billion. We think within the margin of error, our ability in the current environment to absorb that exists even with our reserves and our capacity to move things around. That's current environment. To the extent this is more severe, we are better positioned, I think, the vast majority of states in this country, and you're then having a different conversation about federal supports at a level that are even more significant than the modest, $15 billion you received during the last downturn.